I wanted to make this video for a while. I always wanted to know how big the planets would be if they were as close as the moon. Today we will answer that question, not with pictures, but in VR. The only way I felt we could really feel the size of the planets. First we will start with the moon, so we have something to compare the rest of the planets to. Just as a fun fact, our closest stellar neighbor is more our sister. 4 billion years ago in the Hadean Eon, a Mars-sized object called Theia collided with the young Earth. Spun out of that collision was our moon. First on our list is the obvious Mercury. It's both the planet with the most asteroid impacts and the daytime temperature of 427 degrees, but a nighttime one of negative 100 degrees Celsius. It's thought that in the early solar system, Mercury was involved in multiple giant impacts, similar to the one that created the moon. This gave Mercury its extremely dense, metal-rich properties. Venus might not look how you expected it to look. Many images show Venus with its wavy clouds, but that's not how our eyes would see it. Venus has this opaque atmosphere filled with toxic gas, leaving those wavy clouds unseeable, and Venus just a solid orb. Exploration missions use infrared and ultraviolet to assist in seeing through these clouds. Another interesting fact is that it takes more energy to get to Venus than Mars. Despite Venus being closer and being able to use the sun's gravity to get to Venus, it actually takes a lot of energy to break any spaceship before it actually reaches Venus than it does to launch a spaceship all the way to Mars. And now for Earth, our spaceship among the stars. This image was taken just a few hours before this video was posted, and is an image right from the GOES East satellite, a geosynchronous satellite up in orbit. Earth was the planet I always wanted to see from this perspective, and it looks the most colorful out of all of them. Earth looks as active as its people. I'll leave this one up a little while. Remember, you can pause the video and take a closer look if you want. Our future destination, Mars, is a barren wasteland. It awaits our arrival silently. Interestingly, there are currently 2 Mars planets in this photo. One is the giant in front of you, but the other is the actual size of Mars from Earth. There it is, with the arrow pointing towards it. Mars looks clear and calm right now, but every so often the Martian dust storms begin, and shroud the planet in violent storms that'll actually make it look quite fuzzy to the eye. It's funny how much smaller Mars is than Earth and Venus. I always thought it was a little bit bigger. And now for the Jovian giants. Is Jupiter as big as you thought it would be? Or far bigger? For me, it was a little bit smaller than I thought. Staring right at us is that great red spot. In Galileo's journals, he wrote about being able to see the great spot. Though sadly, as any other storm, this one too will come to its end. The raging red spot is actually a high-pressure system, and it's shrinking. Right now, it's 1.5 times the size of Earth, but in 2 decades, it might be a mere memory. I always thought the swirling clouds of Jupiter looked like oil paint in water. So strange and alien. We are currently inside the orbit of Io, Jupiter's closest of the Galilean moons. You can see it off to your right. That's Io right there. I guess this is what it would look like if we lived on a Jovian moon. Honestly, Saturn looked the most beautiful in this video. It just looks awesome. It seems crazy, but though we are as close as Saturn is to our moon right now, Saturn's rings are still in full view. I thought for sure we'd be inside them before I finished this video, but the rings only extend about halfway between the distance of the Earth and the moon. It's amazing that they're so close to Saturn, despite us being able to see them from so far away. This image is straight from Cassini, as was that Jupiter image you just saw. I found it interesting how the Jovian giants are not much larger than our inner planets. Jupiter is only 11 times the diameter of Earth, yet people normally consider them a great deal larger. What is a true giant, however, is our Sun, who if at a distance like this would take up the entire sky, and we would not be able to even see all of it. Uranus may be the butt of many jokes, but it's actually a quite pretty planet. It, like Saturn, has a ring, but it's very hard to see. The last planet, all the way out at the fringes. This planet also had a giant storm spun inside of it. It's interesting how the planets are ordered. You have the inner planets, each around the same size and terrestrial. Then you have the large gas giants, both orange in color. And then 2 medium-sized blue giants. No, I did not forget Pluto. Though not a planet, everyone does love Pluto, and the new imagery from Horizon's mission is not something to waste. Pluto, however, is about half the size of our moon. It's amazing at all we can see it from Earth. I put in one more for fun. If you look where Pluto just was, you'll see a tiny gray speck. That is the size of the Death Star from the distance of the moon. It's actually pretty tiny. I guess even humans' imagination is sometimes outclassed by nature. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this video.